Hey, handsome.
Hey, beautiful. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
So
why are we starting this podcast?
Well, it's because we've been talking about wanting to start a podcast together for a while now. Like, we've always talked about vlogging together, but we really sat down and was like, okay, let's really do this.
Yep.
And so I had you do a little rough draft of like what we're going to kind of talk about mainly in this first episode, but we want to welcome you to our podcast.
Yeah.
And what is it called, babe?
I think we're gonna call it a young marriage saga. A young marriage saga.
A young marriage saga, not the young. Marriage.
Yeah, not the. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
a young marriage saga.
Yeah.
So, let's just dive right in.
Yeah. So how long have we known each other for?
October will actually be 9 years of knowing each other.
Yeah,
because
of knowing
that's
each other.
like when we first started. Like, that's the first time we really text and we knew each other's name by then.
Yeah.
I think maybe like we saw each other the first time in September, but we did not know each other. I barely knew your name.
Yeah.
The only reason why is because of a friend at the time. She had a crush on you, and that's how I ended up knowing your name.
Oh, was that Annie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I feel
it. Let's talk about how we first met before, like, how long we've dated or before.
Okay, are we starting where we met where we got the text message, or are we starting where we met where, like, it was high school?
High school. Like, well, which one came first? So let's start. I think it was you seeing me first, actually.
Yeah, I saw you in high school. Yeah, so and I was aware of you. Yeah.
Let's start there because that's where your interest started.
And yeah, because I saw you and I was like, she's hot.
Yeah.
I was like, she's pretty. So because I didn't have any classes with you, but I had my policing class. It was like a high school like policing or like criminal justice class in whatever his name. The football coach. I don't know why I can't remember his freaking name. Yeah, it's the football coach. Sorry, I don't remember his name all of a sudden. He was in the Marine Corps or whatever. And it was because Miss Woodard's PE, like weightlifting.
She had something.
Yeah, she had something going on. So they put our classes together and we watched like Law and Order or something like And so, me at that time, because I was a junior? No, I was a sophomore. Yeah, I was a sophomore. Yeah, so I was a sophomore.
Because we didn't start. No. We
have to get this right. No.
You were a junior because we started dating December, your junior year.
Yeah.
Because you saw me at homecoming.
That's right. Yeah.
So we'll go into
That's right. Okay. So anyways, I saw you, right? And we were just like in class and like because that class was such a shit show. So like
we were just joking around.
Yeah, we were just like joking around, and he like left the classroom. So like me, that was like prime time to start cracking jokes or whatever.
Yeah, and Miss Woodard was there, and it's so funny because Miss Woodard would always be more the stricter one.
Yeah.
And your teacher was the one that was more laid back, but he was the one saying, "No, you guys need to be quiet and just watch the show."
Yeah, it was so.
And then Miss Woodard was like, "I don't care, just stay quiet. Like, be quiet." It's like, not. Like, keep your voices down. You don't need to be loud.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyways, I was cracking jokes the whole freaking time, and I made you laugh. And I made her, and I was like, I'm in. I was like, if she thinks I'm funny, I'm in, right? But then we didn't see much of each other after that for a while until.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that was the beginning of September.
Yeah.
And I didn't know your name.
No.
At all yet.
No.
And then I asked Annie. I remember asking Annie about you.
Yeah.
Because I was new to the school. I had freshman year, but with freshman year, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
Literally, I stayed with pretty much Melanie, and that's it.
Right, yeah.
But then my sophomore year is when I really started, like, making friends with everybody. And then that's when I asked about you, because everybody else went to school together. I had not. So I was new.
Yep.
But...
and then I remember seeing you, right? Because then the football game happened, right?
No.
No.
That next was the text messages.
Oh, okay. So the text message. Oh my lord.
It's because of our siblings. So Nolan says to this day.
Nolan's my brother, by the way.
Yes. To this day that it's because of them that we're together.
Yeah.
But I feel like we belong together, so I think we would have ended up together anyways without their little mishap,
right.
whatever.
But anyways, like freaking, so Nolan, my brother, went to Elitch's, right? And he went to Elitch's with her sister.
Yeah.
And like they were hanging out or whatever, and then my mom went to like go pick my brother up, but like he would not answer his phone. Like he just wouldn't pick it up or whatever. My mom was texting and calling, and he's a jackass. So anyways, freaking, so then no, that's how I had your number though. Remember?
So you had no, not from the football game.
No, not from the football game, but like, oh, so anyways, what happened was,
sorry, we're a little like,
oh my god, we have to like put the puzzle pieces together
because we haven't talked about this in so long.
Yeah.
And when we do talk about it, it's like very brief, and we're like going more into it because it's kind of fun actually.
Yeah.
To go back down memory lane. But
those mass texts.
Yes, you remember in middle school those mass texts you would get like, oh, forward this or you're gonna die, or forward this or
Yeah.
you're gonna have bad luck for the next 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, we were in a message together somehow, which I was like, that's ironic.
Yeah.
But that's how he got my number.
Yeah.
Because
I was like, someone forwarded it to me, and then I was like, who is this? And it was like, oh, I'm Shelby. Yeah.
I remember replying back Shelby because I was like, who is this? But it's funny because I don't think I saved your number in my phone.
That hurts a little. But yeah, no,
And it wasn't like in a mean way.
No,
but
I know.
I don't remember if you replied back Easton or
I
not.
did, yeah.
But
I think I did.
Sometimes when I would get those, I would just delete it all.
Yeah.
Too, so then I wouldn't even know.
I just straight up was just like, who is this? It's like, it's Shelby or whatever. And I was like, I think you're so like my brother's in your sister's class or whatever. And that was like, there was like a short exchange. And like,
that was kind of it for a while. Until...
Okay, so anyways...
Coming back to the siblings.
Right, so I couldn't contact my brother, right? Like, we couldn't figure out how to get into contact and to go pick him up. And my mom was, like, fucking losing her mind, because that's just my mom. And so, I was like, oh, you know what? I know Shelby's sister is hanging out with my brother right now. I was like, I bet I could text Shelby, and then she could text her sister to let Nolan know that he's a dumbass.
And I think you actually called me, and I thought it was so weird that you called me.
Did I call you?
Because I think you're like, hey, it's a Shelby. I'm pretty sure you did. Because you guys, I think you were text. I don't remember though, 100%.
No, I remember just texting you. Okay. I remember just being like, hey, I was like, no, this is kind of weird, but like, I'm Nolan's brother. You're right. I was like, and he's hanging out with your sister, I'm pretty sure, Montana. And you were like, yes. And I was like, hey, I know this is kind of weird, but can you like tell Montana to tell my brother that my mom's at Elitch's, and so like we can pick him up. It was
like playing telephone.
Yeah, we're playing telephone with telephones, right? So anyways, we it worked. Yeah, you texted your sister. She let my brother know. My brother freaking finally came out of Elitch's like 20 minutes later, and my mom was fucking pissed. But but
it worked. But it worked out.
It worked, right? So
anyways. But so that's like how it started a little bit.
Yeah, because then like right after that we were like, oh man, I'm sorry I had to bother you. My brother's kind of a jerk or whatever. And then you were like...
Yeah, my sister's kind of like, I was like, same.
Yeah, same. So
they just had the same energy, and they're the second child, and just...
Yeah. So...
Kind of naughty.
Yeah.
Like, not like, naughty, like, I don't know how to explain.
They're just rebels
in
all the wrong ways. Yeah, but anyway, so
we just started texting after that.
We texted a little bit, but then after that, like, it stopped. It was just like, oh, we like riffed off.
But then
the football game. Yeah, happened. So then the football game. So then I go to the football game with my buddies, and like anybody, like we talked about this at our wedding, but like, or at least I did.
Yeah.
But
you said it in your vows.
Yeah, it was in my vows. Yeah. So I remember being at the edge of the football game. We were outside the fence, and I saw you walking around. And I was hanging out with Joseph and Robert Wilson at the time.
Yes, but Joseph wasn't there. It was just Robert Wilson when you were talking.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess Joseph was off somewhere. But like Robert Wilson was definitely there. And we were just hanging there, and like you had come by, and I was like, oh, that's Shelby. And I was just like, I wanted to talk to her, right? And you looked so freaking sad.
Oh,
you were like...
I was trying to... So I was dating someone from Bennett.
So sad.
And he was a few years older than me. And then my parents told me I had to break up with him because he was older than me. And then he promised he would meet me at the football game because I was able to go to the football game. And he was older, so he was able to drive there and whatnot. And he stood me up and did not show up. So I was so sad. And I kept texting him, and then he wasn't replying back. And it was just like, it just broke my heart because there's like a lot of broken promises.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're high school, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, we're high school sweethearts, so
yeah,
I can't just be like, it's just high school.
Right. But so anyways, I saw her like all sad puppy dogging for that reason or whatever, but I didn't know at the time, right?
Yeah.
And so like I just like chatted you up, and you were so like not interested in talking.
I know, and I was like,
you were so...
you were talking to me, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry, but I gotta go.
Yeah.
I was like,
and then she walks off all sad, and you head towards like the middle school, and I was like, whatever. And like I turned to Robert Wilson then in there, and I was like, I'm gonna marry that girl. I was like, I have to. I was like, she's so hot, she's so pretty, and I was just like, oh man. And then like you're just cute, and like you're just like, I don't know the way you were, and I was just like, I'm gonna marry that girl. And Robert was like, all right. I mean, like, I didn't know you at all, basically, but I was like, I'm gonna marry that girl.
He's like, I don't know this chick, but
yeah.
You know, I have a feeling I'm gonna marry her.
I don't know the
let me tell you. You guys will get to know it, but there was a lot of fuck ups along the way before marriage actually happened.
Oh yeah. But anyways, so freaking I remember that night ended a little like bittersweet because I was just like, she didn't seem super interested, but like I wasn't gonna like bother you then and there. But I think I did text you like a day or two later. And
it was that weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
Or it might have been a week later, to be honest. Because him and that boy and I were done.
Yeah.
By that time, so it might have been a week actually. Because I think that was the last for me. I was like, all right, I'm done. And then you texted me.
I asked how you were like doing. Yeah. I was like, oh, are you good? And like I was like, yeah.
Yeah, and then we just started texting after that.
Yeah. And then
was that the day that I asked you to come hang out, or you asked if you could come hang out with me?
No, I didn't ask. You asked. So what happened was here's how it went.
Yeah, I feel like
because I remember exactly how it went down. Because you were like, oh, what are you doing? And I just said like, oh, I'm hanging out. I've been playing some video games. Whatever.
I have to tell the most important part of that story.
Oh, that's fine. I know. So anyways, so I was like, what are you doing? And you were like, nothing. And then I'm like, really bored. And I was like. Oh,
I remember you saying, "Oh, me too."
Yeah, me too. I was like, I actually am bored, and she's like, yeah. I was like, I was gonna hang out with some friends, and they're not gonna hang out, and she's like, so I guess it just kind of like fell through or whatever. And I was like, well, if you want to hang out, I was like, I'm down to hang out. That'd be cool. And you were like, yeah, I'm down to hang out.
And then you kept texting me. You're like, have you asked if I could come over yet? And like every 2 minutes, you texted me like 3 times. I was like, not yet. Let me tell you, I was so nervous to ask because, for one, I didn't ask very often for friends to come over in general, but then, like, asking for a boy to come over, like, that's, even though I was 16, it was still like, I'm asking for a boy to come over. I'm afraid they're gonna say no. Like, I was so, like, nervous. And then when they said yes, I was so excited, but then I remember texting you and being like... Don't judge, because now I wear my contacts. And
yeah, I said, like, I don't even care.
Because I was wearing my glasses and I didn't have any makeup on.
Yeah, she was so, like, she was like, hey, just so you know, like, I'm not wearing any makeup and I have my glasses on. And I was like, okay. Like, I was like, why do I care? I was just like, so. But yeah, so then, did I drive over? Yeah, I drove over.
Yeah.
And you gave me the address, and I was a little bit like, oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know you live over here, but I was like, I didn't know who lived there at the time, but I was like, oh, she lives here. Then walked inside. You like showed me the whole family, met your brother and sister, and your mom and your dad like within like an hour. Mm-hmm. So I met the whole fam. No, your stepdad. Yeah, the whole fam. And what did we do? We watched, like, Avatar, I think, or something. What movie we watched?
I think it was Top Gun, actually.
Oh, yeah, we watched Top Gun.
Because I love Top Gun. Yeah. I still do. Easton's like, there was a while there I would watch it once a month, and Easton's like, are we really watching Top Gun again?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I still love it.
She watches the volleyball scene, like, religiously. But yeah, so then, and then, like, I don't remember what really happened, like, but, like, your family kind of, like, buzzed off for a little while, so it was like, Your brother.
And then we ended up going to dinner.
Hold on, you missed the part.
No. It was after dinner.
It was after dinner. No, it was not.
No, it was not.
No,
Just
it was
kidding,
not.
just
No, I was
kidding,
like,
you're
there's
right.
daylight. There's still the
Just
day
kidding.
was young.
It's because I was like, oh wait, because then I was like, I felt a little awkward afterwards because I was like, oh maybe you weren't okay. Let me just tell you. So my family kind of all disappeared. Easton and I were like flirting around.
We were flirting.
He kept tickling me, and then he kept getting closer, and I was like, oh, he's trying to kiss me.
I was not. I was not a first date or hang out kissing kind of guy at the time at all.
So I took the initiative, and I was like, I'm going to kiss you. But I didn't tell him that. I just went in and kissed him.
She just went for it.
And you continue now.
I was astounded. I had okay. Because I'm the kind of guy who, like, I didn't assume anything was going to happen. And, like, definitely not on the first time or date or whatever. Like, nothing like that. Like, I'm definitely, like, the third date, maybe we could hold hands kind of, like, guy at the time, right? Like, obviously, like, I wanted to, like, pursue relationships as far as they would go. But, like,
right.
I was never, like, the guy that was, like, something's going to happen, right? And you just, like, kissed me. And I was blown away. I was like, a girl... In the year of our Lord 2015, was it 2014? Or no, it was 2014. It had just before December. Yeah.
Because our anniversary, our dating anniversary, but also, is December 21st.
Yeah, so it was like 2014, high school. It was just like, I've never had a girl make the first move. It was like one of the most frustrating things as a guy because you're always like playing that guessing game. But like, she kissed me, and I was like... I was like, well, she clearly likes me. I was like, that's good. There's no guessing after that.
Okay, but we had talked about it just actually not too long ago again about it, and you did tell me, you're like, well, I did want to kiss you, but I wasn't planning on it at all.
No, well, but that's like that's like a guy thing. That's just like, well, I would love to just make out with you right now, but like...
We didn't make out, we just kissed.
No, we just kissed, yeah. But
Didn't we do it twice?
Yeah, we kissed later that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we do it twice?
But, you know, it was just like one of those things where it was just like, oh, so that was great. And then the night got more awkward.
Yeah, oh god, this is great. Oh gosh, so he was known as the soup boy in my house for a very long time. I think 2 whole years, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, Charlie will be like, oh, soup boy, but not for a very long time. She hasn't said that, to be honest.
Yeah, recently, not recently, but like,
But, okay, we've been together for almost 9 years, though.
Yeah.
October will be 9 years of knowing each other, and then December will be 9 years of together.
Yeah.
So, which we'll talk about more in just a minute. But anyways, so a little after that, we ended up going to dinner, which, let me tell you, that was
in Southlands.
Yeah, in Southlands. For one, that was weird for me because we did not go out to dinner, like, hardly ever, as a family. So I was like, that's weird. I thought it was kind of weird that we were going out, but I was like, oh, this is cool. This is nice because it didn't happen very often. But I've never told you this, but for me, that was kind of awkward because I was like, I feel like I'm setting up this expectation for this guy that I'm just meeting, that like, oh, we have the money to go out to dinner and do stuff like this, and we did not. We do not. And I was like, I hope he doesn't feel like know that. Like, at the time, I never talked to him about that, and I've never talked to you about that since then. But I was because we went to a nice place, an expensive place. Yeah,
we went to that Buffalo.
Ted Montana's
Grill.
Yeah,
Ted's Montana Grill. Yeah,
steakhouse.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, we had never been there for one.
Yeah,
at least I had never been there, and for two, I was like, wow, this is expensive, and I was just like,
yeah.
So then I felt like I was like, man, we're setting the expectations high for this guy that's just meeting me. And I was like...
There was no expectation.
I'm so glad there wasn't, but in the back of my head, I was thinking that. I was like, why the fuck are we going out to dinner? It was nice. It was nice, but I was just like... Because we normally, if we were going to out dinner, out to dinner, we were planning those kinds of things.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't just like on the whim. So
Right.
it was like weird for me too.
Oh, I
to be
feel
honest.
it. And that was a long car drive there because it's out to Southlands, and then it was like, okay, we go to this restaurant,
Which is like about 45 minutes,
yeah,
right?
and that was the first time I've ever been on a dinner date with
With
a
a
girl
family.
and her parents. I dated plenty of girls before Shelby. I was never on a dinner date with any of their freaking parents.
And like we said, this is the first time us ever hanging out together.
Yeah, ever. And I was
We've
like,
had
ooh.
very short interactions that were like
Like,
longest 10 minutes.
Like, from my perspective, things were moving fast. I was like, fuck.
Well, even kind of for me though too. I was like,
oh.
oh, what's going on? So, yeah.
And then so we start ordering food, right? And I had actually eaten before I went over to their house because like
because you don't want to be rude.
I wasn't gonna be rude, and I was
ask
nervous.
for
Yeah, and I
food.
wasn't gonna make them feed me. So like, and I honestly didn't plan on staying that long.
Yeah. Because you were going to go to a party.
I was gonna go to a party that night. Actually, yeah, that's
he
true.
skipped a party, and wasn't that going to be your first party?
Yeah,
too?
it was.
Yeah,
and I heard there's gonna be booze and everything, and I was like, I'd rather go meet a girl than
Yeah,
freaking
he skipped a party to be with me.
Yeah, so we get to the freaking Ted's Montana Grove. They sit us down or whatever. And it's like a steak place, right? And it's just like everyone's, and like we're going around the table and everyone's ordering like steak or whatever the hell they want. And I was not hungry, but I didn't want to be rude. And I was like, I'll just get like an appetizer.
You said you'll get the soup of the day.
Yeah, I'll just get like the soup of the day or whatever. And I was like, what is it? And they were like, oh, it's...
They were out of the soup.
Yeah, no, I know. So then they like, no, but that was the thing what happened. So, right, so I'm super nervous, right? I order the soup of the day. The waiter leaves with our orders, whatever. He comes like, in, like, okay. So then your stepdad goes, why did you order the soup of the day? And he was like a little miffed because like he was like, everyone's ordering steak. What the fuck's wrong with this guy? And I was like, oh, I'm really just not that hungry. I was like, seriously. I was like, I'm not trying to like be mean or anything or like act like I'm some kind of way. I was like, I literally ate before because I didn't think I was going to be there that long. You know, and I was like, and I figured I was going to go to a party later. And so it was like this whole thing. But
you
like,
didn't say all that.
No, but like I was just
you
like,
just said, I'm just not that hungry.
yeah, I was so nervous. But then he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, no, seriously. I was like, I'm just not that hungry, right? But then the fucking waiter comes back and he's like, I'm so sorry, but we're out of the soup of the day. And I was like, oh,
what else do you
what do you have? And he's like, that's like close to that or whatever, like on the app. And he's like, well, we have like the chili or whatever. The buffalo chili. And I was like, sure. Because I wanted to...
You did ask.
Yeah.
You were like, is it spicy? He's like, oh, not really.
Yeah, he said, not really. Okay. So whatever. So I'm like, fine, whatever.
So that's why he got his name, Soup Boy.
It's because, okay, so they walked, when we got our fucking food, right? And I'm like sweating bullets, but at the same time, like I'm maneuvering the conversation pretty well or whatever. It's fine. Okay. And then everybody's food gets put down. And then this waiter puts a fucking bowl of chili down in front of me that has jalapeno peppers all over it. And I was like, no.
And at this time, like, you could probably handle that chili now, to be honest.
Yeah, like now I could. But like then I was so white. I was like, no.
Even like too much pepper on something would be like,
oh,
too
God,
much
it was
for you.
so... And so I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with... And I was like, you know what I did? I did the dumbest fucking... Because I panicked. I shoved the freaking jalapeno peppers down in the chili. So then... all the way down the bottom. So then I just start eating the chili like normal. We're eating dinner all normal and stuff. And it was fine until I ate one on accident. I dug one up. I wasn't paying attention. I stuck... And my throat... like literally closed. It just was like, it was like, no, that's not going down your fucking throat. And I panicked and I turned white and I started sweating and
you were so red.
And my mouth, I was, oh God, and my mouth was on fire. And your mom just looked at me and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, and I just I shoved it down and it was just fire and rage going on. And I was just like, aha! And like, it was so bad. And I went through my whole glass of water so...
And I gave you mine.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so sorry. Can I have your glass of water? I drank all of my water, her water.
I think maybe my mom
I did.
Too.
I drank all your mom. I was like... And she's like, do you want my water? And I was like, yes, please. I drank all, and like the waiter left us out to dry because he did not come back. He never came back. He was just like, see ya, and he didn't ask how our food was. Nothing. He was a dick. He just left, and I was out of water. I think he came back one time, like that whole meal, and he didn't ask. He didn't refill our waters or nothing. So I went through like everybody's water. Oh my god, that was so terrible. And so everyone was just having a laugh about it.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, whatever. At least everyone, it was funny. It was just so funny.
It was funny. And looking back at it, I think it just gets funnier actually as we get older. Because it's just like, you're just so awkward in the first dating stages. Like, I feel like no matter
and the
how
pressure
old
was,
you are,
it wasn't even like we were alone. So like the pressure was on for me. It was so, oh man. But after that, well, after that, like, we wrapped it up. We walked around Southlands for a little bit. It was starting to get cold.
Yeah, it was pretty cold actually. It was a little chilly already because it was October.
Yeah. And then we held hands.
Yeah, we did.
We held hands walking around for a little bit, and then we just got in the back of the car and we just freaking drove back.
We just held hands all the way home.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a little less awkward.
Yeah.
I feel like, honestly, the whole dinner broke the tension.
It was like the biggest icebreaker. I was like, well, it can't get worse than this now.
Even though, like, it was, like, I know, really embarrassing and kind of mortifying for you.
Yeah.
It broke the ice, though. Like,
so.
And honestly, even though, like, it was the first time I was hanging out, it never felt awkward for me, though. Like, I felt... Like, it was nervous. I was nervous because, like,
yeah.
But never,
I
like,
never felt
awkward.
I only felt awkward around your parents.
Yeah.
But then other, like, with you, no.
Same with your parents at first.
True, yeah.
And oh gosh. Remember me, like, the first time meeting them? I was, like, so worried.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. That was funny. Yeah, no, and then, like, the night just kind of ended. I think we kissed one more time.
Yeah, we did.
I
walked you out and we kissed one more time.
Yeah, and then I freaking just got in my minivan and freaking drove home, and it was a good night. It was a good first date.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Like
we weren't dating. We weren't boyfriend
dating.
And girlfriend yet.
Yeah.
We weren't, like I said, that was October. We weren't boyfriend and girlfriend until December 21st.
Yeah.
Of 2014. So.
Which your freaking friends had to, like, pressure me into asking you out because
I know they kept being like, Easton, when are you gonna ask her out?
Yeah.
Like, where are you guys? Because it seems like your boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, because
you haven't asked her out yet.
Yeah, I know. We were like hanging out during school, and like I still
we'd hold hands.
Yeah, hold hands.
We didn't do much PDA, to be honest. Like, the most we did really was hold hands. We didn't PDA that much. Like, we didn't like kiss that much or anything.
No.
Until we started dating.
Yeah.
Then we were a little more.
And then, it wasn't until like
but
Melanie.
We still weren't too bad.
No, but it wasn't until like Melanie. It was like, October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't until, or no, when I didn't ask you out until the 21st.
December.
Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't until December when like her friends were like really just like,
come on.
Okay, buddy, let's freaking go. And so then I was just like, okay, and then I asked you out, and so.
Which, he is so cute. He actually texted, Melanie was my best friend at the time.
Yeah.
And we're still friends. Like, we still talk every once in a while. We're just not
as close anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, she was my best friend at the time, so she knew, like, almost anything. And you could ask her almost any question about me, and she could answer it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Easton, I don't know, texted her or like.
Yeah, I texted her.
I don't know how, but asked her what my favorite flower was and my favorite Starbucks drink at the time, and he got both of them, and then that's how he asked me out. It was so cute.
Yeah, it was like,
I mean,
definitely
it wasn't like nothing huge.
It wasn't
anything,
huge,
but I loved it, honestly.
Yeah.
It made me so happy.
Right.
And I felt really bad because, I was on the phone with my dad, and for me, I had like some tension with my dad at that time. Like, maybe he didn't think so, but I felt like I did. But what teenager kid does, but whatever. That's nothing to worry about. But anyways, I felt bad. I felt like I kind of ruined the moment because I was getting in his car and he was like trying to ask me out at the same time with the roses and the drink. And I was like, okay, Dad. I kept trying to get off the phone before Easton even arrived, and he just kept wanting to talk. I was like, okay, Dad, I gotta go. I'm here with Easton. Or I don't even know if I said your name. I was like, I'm with my friend, so I gotta go. And then So it kind of ruined the moment a little, but then it was fine.
I don't feel like it ruined the moment.
For me, I think I was like a little frustrated, but then
Yeah.
it was fine like 2 minutes later because I was like, oh, you're so sweet.
Right. And then since then, we were just dating.
That was actually the same night I met your parents.
Oh, yeah. You
I was
came over
so
to my
nervous.
freaking house.
So his drive from my house to his house was like less than 10 minutes, or like exactly 10 minutes, like from door to door almost.
Yeah, and like when I was speeding, it was like 7.
Yeah. So that whole 10 minutes, I was like, are you sure they're gonna like me? I'm so nervous. I hope they like me. Like, I kept going in circles, and he kept saying, Shelby, it's fine. They're gonna love you. It's
yeah,
gonna
my
be
parents
okay.
were like cool, but they did not like my last girlfriend. But yeah.
So deep down, he was a little secretly
I was a
nervous,
little nervous, but
but
like you
he's
weren't like my last girlfriend
Yeah.
at all, and I was just like, I don't think it's gonna go bad. So
Yeah, I was so nervous.
I was confident at least. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that for another time. I was gonna make a comment, but
Okay.
about what your mom said.
Well, you could say it at the end of
Alright.
like how, because after she first met you, but like, what do you remember from like first meeting me? Because like I don't even I remember meeting your parents in that first date very vividly, but I don't remember you meeting my parents very vividly.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, what was that
I
like?
just felt like I was so shy because I was just
Well,
like,
yeah.
I was so nervous,
Mhm.
and I remember my face being red the whole dinner.
Yeah, it was true. Yeah, you were like red in the
Because
face.
even
yeah,
though I
like...
couldn't see myself, I could feel like right
yeah,
now.
you were nervous.
Like,
yeah.
I bet my ears are a little red because I
Yeah.
always get like this when we talk.
Yeah.
But
We just had dinner at my parents'
yeah,
house,
that's
right?
all we did.
Yeah.
But I'm a nervous Nelly, especially. I feel like I've gotten a lot better since high school.
Yeah.
But I still can get that way. But I was just so nervous. I remember being so red the whole time.
Yeah.
They were asking me questions, and just like normal questions. Like there was nothing that stood out like it did with my family, but I think just being so nervous, like, I remember your dad sitting right across from me, and I remember hearing him chew, and I was like, I remember asking you, I don't know if it was that night, but I was like, does your dad always chew that loud? And it wasn't like he was like open mouth, but it just sounded like a horse.
Yeah,
Like,
he always has like did have like cottage cheese
on everything.
Yeah,
like,
so like
oh,
I think he must have like slammed cottage cheese on like his spinach and shit, and then he was just like
just
chomping
like,
away.
Yeah, just the way he chomps.
Yeah.
It's just funny. And I remember that. And then I remember I was sitting right next to your mom. And I feel like she was just judging me because I just giggle like a lot.
Yeah, you giggle when you're nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever we've been put in like social situations where like Shelby gets nervous, she's like, and I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, I'm feeling it too, but I'm not gonna laugh about it. Like I'm like,
that's like my mechanism, like just giggle. So later down the road, I find out that his mom ended up asking him or like thinking I was dumb.
No, she didn't. That was okay. So the way she didn't say it so frankly.
Yeah.
She was like, Easton, like, are you is Shelby like a smart girl? And I was like, yeah, she has like really good grades. I was like, she's pretty studious. I was like, why? And she was like, well, she's like, I'm not super sure at the moment. And I was like, no. I was like, you don't understand. She was just really nervous, Mom. I was like, no, it's cool. I was like, don't worry about it. And then like once you warmed up with my mom, then she like laughed about it because she was like, oh, you are smart.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's like, I thought.
She tells me all the time that I'm so much smarter than she is. Like, so I'm a nurse, and she's a nurse.
Yeah.
She's a nurse manager now, but she's like, oh, that comes easy to Shelby. And I was like, nursing school was so freaking hard for me, but the way she talks about it is like I had a breeze going through nursing school, and I was like, it was not.
Right.
But she just says like how smart I am, and I'm like,
right.
I'm not that smart.
But again,
she's like,
the initial
but it's
impression.
so funny because now that she knows me, she's like, you're way smarter than me.
Yeah.
Like she'll tell you that any day of the week.
But
And
the
I'm
initial
like,
impression though, my mom was
not
not impressed. She was like, Easton, is she just pretty? Or like, And like I had dated a girl that was just pretty like a while before that, and I was like, no, I was like, she's not like that girl. I was like, I don't think, but like I was like, she's freaking, she's smart. I was like, she's really intelligent. We've actually like I think at the time too, I even said to him, I was like, no, we've had some like pretty cool long conversations and stuff about like interesting stuff. So it wasn't even like.
She's like, are you sure this is
Yeah.
the right one?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're making a good choice dating her?
Yeah, but then no, it was she didn't emphasize it
No,
that
I
hard.
know.
But anyway,
but
so
that's probably like what she's thinking. Like,
yeah. But then once you warmed up or whatever, it was like fine. We were like good.
It took me a couple more times to come around, but it's fine after that.
Yeah. God, and then there was like so much shit that happened while we were dating.
Oh my gosh. You know, being together for as long as we have, it's crazy because it's like I feel like so much has happened, but at the same time, I feel like nothing's happened. Like, not that that's true. Nothing's not.
We've spent so much time together now that it's like the memories are starting to like not blend together, but like it's like the stuff that's like significant really stands out, and the stuff that was like kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
It's like starting to like fade a little bit. Yeah. But like, God, geez, like there was like so much shit that happened that was like while we were dating in high school that was ridiculous. But I don't know what we want to talk about right now as far as that goes. Like, I don't want to quite get to this yet.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I realize now that after like I wrote that down, I was like, that's pretty far out.
That's why I said I feel like all of these actually. So I think maybe we should end it there for our first one.
I mean, we have like a solid 36 minutes.
That's pretty good.
So. Okay.
I feel like for our first one. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right.
It's fine. So we just have to end it somehow. Though.
Yeah. How should we end it? Because we'll obviously cut this part out.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about.
Well, thanks for listening to this. Yeah. I don't know if you guys enjoyed this at all, but this is a little, like, sneak peek into, like, how I ended up...
We have 9 years of this.
Yeah, 9 years.
To go through.
Yeah.
So, just about 9 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. But, no, I appreciate anybody who took the time to listen to us.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love for you guys to follow all of our accounts.
Yeah, follow all Shelby stuff mainly because I think that's where we're gonna be posting most of it. But like, I actually didn't think about that. So hold on, what do we have as far as?
We have YouTube. We have our account, which is.
So what's your Instagram?
Mine I believe is Mrs. Shelby Karna. But we will always tag it under. You don't have it on there.
I know.
No, not create a channel.
No, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
Add account.
It's like the Karnas. Yeah, there it is.
I don't know if that's the same password. Okay, it is.
No, it is.
I changed our picture and stuff on there. I'm gonna have to go through and try and do that again.
No, change it.
Okay,
no,
did change
good.
it. Oh, it's because the Gmail. Okay, I need to go into the Gmail and change it. All right, let me pull up my Instagram. So we will tag all of our social media accounts, or at least my side of it, under the video.
Yeah.
I have 5 views.
Sweet.
And the biggest area that I have been posting right now is Snapchat, but I will start posting more on Instagram. And then I think our goal should be trying to put out a video once a week.
Yeah, once a week's pretty good. Yeah. I can edit a video in a week, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when should we have like our days that we end up filming and then we end up
I don't know, like if we what's today, Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
So if we film on a Sunday, then like
do you think we can post it by a Wednesday? Or is that not enough?
Well, Wednesday? I don't know. Maybe like by Thursday or Friday.
Thursday or Friday. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's good. Too.
Yeah.
And then so every Sunday we try and
yeah, Sunday film, Friday it's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So like just planning for all the Fridays to have it posted.
So Fridays is the days that we will try and have everything posted, like the podcast that we have for the week, that we did for the week. Because we plan on actually keeping this going. I know with our first YouTube channel that we started 3 years ago, and we did not keep up with it.
Yeah, but a bunch of crap happened, so
Yeah.
it's just like whatever.
Which we're going to actually go through.
Yeah,
like,
we will. We'll address about what happened and like why we couldn't stay consistent with it.
Yeah.
We weren't at that point in our lives right now.
No, we really weren't. Like, we probably could have done it, but it would have added a lot more stress to our life, to be honest.
I don't know.
And we just were going through a lot of stressful stuff.
Yeah.
At the time, so.
Okay, so
I will tag all my stuff.
Yeah, okay. We'll tag all our freaking socials or whatever, but like, subscribe, follow,
like the video,
like,
if you
please.
liked it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And stay tuned for a part 2.
Share it to all your friends.
Yeah.
So that they can listen to.
Yeah, get all the dirt on what Shelby and Easton were up to in high school. You know that you were like not a part of until later.
Yeah.
So.
Stay tuned for the rest of everything.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye. Woo!